Back in the garage today. Back in the garage today. What's going on, guys? Back in the garage today, getting ready to work on my 2020 Husqvarna FE350. We're going to put a slave cylinder guard on it. It's a pretty easy job, so let's jump into it. All right, so in this case, we're using the Husqvarna upgraded part. There's the part number. This is what we're putting on. Included in here is this anodized piece. We also have a couple of screws. And then if you get the complete kit, which retails for right around 60 bucks, you also get a different, I believe it's a little bit different, we'll find out, chain and sprocket cover. So let's get into it. We only need a couple of simple tools in order to pull this off. I think we just need an 8mm and 10mm. I'm using T-handle. You could use socket. Wrench might be a little hard though. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is remove the airbox cover. That'll give us full access to this screw right here, which we can't totally get to with the airbox cover on. So we're gonna pop it off. Then we're gonna take a 10mm and go ahead and spin this loose. Next up, is part of the chain and sprocket guide, we've got an 8mm right here. And we can pull this off of the bike. So this is the chain guide I just took off, and this is the new one. You can see there's a cutout up there at the top, which is going to give us enough clearance for the cover we're about ready to put on the slave cylinder. They are different part numbers too. They're not the same. You could trim up your factory one if you wanted to and reuse it. It was just made more sense for me to go ahead and pick up the aftermarket, or not aftermarket, but the power parts version. Okay, so we've got two more bolts to take out down here on the slave cylinder, also both 8mm. Just be sure not to pull in your clutch lever after you take these out. There is there's a cable that runs down through here. Should have enough clearance to pull this off. I'm probably gonna have to cut the zip tie up here though to get the new cover on. So if we look right here, there is a zip tie. I'm gonna cut that. That'll give me a little bit more clearance to pull this wire out. Okay, with that wire cut, you can see that, I've got some, I've got a little bit of space here now. So we're gonna take the new cover, and it does come with new screws. Take those out. They should be, we're just gonna compare one of them here. They should be a little bit longer than the factory screws we just took out. And that's to compensate for the added thickness here. So basically all we're gonna do is just place this over top of the slave cylinder. And we're gonna take our slightly longer screws and get them started. And then if you want to properly torque them, it calls for 10 Newton meters on each of these. There we go. Now we need to take a zip tie and pull this back around. Now it's going to be a little bit tighter, obviously, because we have this cover on here now. So we can attempt to pull it around a little bit here. It's got a little bit of give, and we're just going to zip tie it back here to the hydraulic clutch line. Okay, so with the cover on, next thing we're going to do is feed the chain guide back through. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this bigger bolt in back here on the back. I'm not necessarily going to tighten it down. I'm just going to get it started. And with it started, we are going to reuse this bolt, the factory bolt. It's the same one that we just took out. We're going to go ahead and snug it up a little bit here. And once again, 10 Newton meters. There we go. And now we're going to come back up here. I don't know what the spec is on this, but snug is good. All right, we're just about done. The only thing we have left to do is put the airbox cover back on. All right, so that's it. We got our zip tie on, we got the airbox cover back on, and we've got our new slave cylinder guard installed, as well as you know, a slightly modified chain and sprocket guide there. Like I said, you could cut out your factory one if you wanted to take the time to do that. So you got a little bit of added bling with a little bit more protection. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. That's how you install one of those slave cylinder guards on KTM, Husqvarna, Gas. They're all the same. A little bit of added bling, a little bit more protection. Not too big of a price, and all you need is a couple of simple hand tools to do it. Though a torque wrench would be nice to make sure you get those back to spec. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, consider hitting that subscribe button, because if you like motorcycles, well, this is the place to be. If you have any questions about anything I did in today's video, let me know down in the comments section below. I'll do my best to answer them. And as always, I'll talk to you again soon.